Hola, Samuel. We are back.
There we go. Practice that Spanish, Parker. I wonder
Every
why.
day.
We just got back from speaking only Spanish for a week.
It was something, wasn't it?
For Elevation Nation, to recap, we had Parker's bachelor party this past week in Colombia, South America. Parker and I and our friend Miles started off the trip in Medellin, Colombia for 4 days, and then met up with the rest of the bachelor party in Cartagena, Colombia. So we were practicing a lot of Spanish, and boy, did we make some memories and gain some valuable life lessons along the way. So today's episode is all about that special trip and what we learned.
It was a special trip, and I just got to shout out you and Miles and all of the guys who made it out. It was an incredible trip. I couldn't have asked for a better bachelor party, and I left feeling definitely very tired. Had to overcome and use some big mental fortitude at points during the trip, which we will highlight. But I left feeling very grateful. And, there was a moment when I was sitting down and looking around, and everyone was kind of doing, their own thing, hanging out, playing soccer, maybe sitting by the pool or whatever. And I was looking around, and I'm just like, wow, these are really special people in my life, and I am not who I am today without them. And so it was really cool to have fun with everyone, but it was more awesome and amazing to have those feelings of appreciation for the people who have helped get me to the point where I am today, and who will continue to help me get to where I want to be. And the same goes for all of those guys, being able to support them as they go through life moments, both good and bad, because we know that both are inevitable. So it was a really special week. It went by way too fast, Sam. It really did. But I know we had some incredible memories. So I guess let's start, man. Like, what was one thing that you were surprised about yourself from the trip? And how did you allow yourself to get to that point?
So I want to start, maybe this isn't something about myself, but something that just surprised me overall. Everyone that I said I was going to Colombia to said, oh my gosh, be careful. Make sure you don't do anything crazy. Don't get hurt. Dangerous country. So one thing that I want to highlight, a lesson that I learned, is there are all of these stereotypes and stigmas about people, places, cultures that are perpetuated by television, TV, movies, radio, whatever, right? And obviously with the show Narcos that came out all about Pablo Escobar, as of recently, Colombia as a whole in the country was in the limelight for its negative past of the drug cartel. And totally get that many people would be fearful. I, of course, in the back of my mind was a little bit nervous. Did my research and learned how much work their government has put into making it a safe place for tourists. So I had a little bit of faith. But until I got there and was able to experience the people, the culture, the vibes myself, did I truly realize how absolutely wrong these stereotypes were. Not once throughout the entire trip did I feel scared or not. Actually, let me take that back. I felt scared once. Parker wasn't even with me. I was walking to dinner. Parker was ahead of me, and there was this horse carriage that was going through the old town of Cartagena, and the horse slipped on the sidewalk and fell and started.
Oh my God.
That scared the shit out of me. I ran into a store because I thought the horse was going to kick me in the face. That was the only time I was actually scared throughout the entire trip. It was actually kind of freaky. But anyways, from a crime standpoint, from a safety standpoint, from a people standpoint, I felt safer there than I did in the streets of New York City or DC.
100%.
So the lesson that I took there is just, obviously people said those things and wanted me to be safe because they were concerned, but go visit places or do your research. There are stereotypes perpetuated by the media that are just not true. The people of Colombia, of Medellin and Cartagena, were some of the most friendly, welcoming, kind human beings I've ever met. They shared their culture with us, their appreciation for tourism, their food, their cuisine, their music, their vigor and love for life. And that was so special and so beautiful. We made countless friends throughout our trip and our experience. One in particular, our Uber driver, Juan, became our friend, our guide, our mentor in showing us Medellin and spending really almost 2 days with the guy, learning about his life, about his family, speaking only Spanish to him, sharing music, sharing laughs, and believe it or not, sharing even tears with him as we saw some beautiful sights throughout Medellin and the rainforest was a truly special experience. And so that was a lesson that I learned. That's something that surprised me off the bat.
Yeah, I agree with you totally about the lesson. I think I have the same thing, and it made me just think about, like, talk is cheap. You know, everyone who was saying these things have never been to this country, or let alone this continent. And I'm just like, well, okay, I understand your fear, but your fear is rooted from someone else perpetuating or showing or displaying what they think that country is, right? You're seeing it through movies. You're maybe seeing it through, unfortunately, maybe some negative press or negative news about one thing that happened, one piece of crime that happened in that country, and that just makes you think about, oh, wow, that country is that place. Okay, well, first of all, hello, crime happens everywhere, unfortunately, and I live in a city like New York where things happen every second of every day, and it doesn't even get put in the news because it happens so frequently. Yet, you know what, Sam? I only want to take advice and really get, like, full on, like, don't tell me about this place you've never been to. And that is what it came down to, is because we saw it firsthand of what Colombia is. It's a beautiful country with a vibrant culture. How in shape, Sam, so many of these people are. They're so fit. They're so, like, wellness focused, food focused, family focused. It was just a beautiful place with beautiful people, and it just reminded me that the only way to fully know about somewhere is to go there and do it. And thankfully and fortunately, we were able to do that in Colombia. But I think that's what's beautiful about why we love to travel around the world, and why we encourage others, if they're able to get outside their comfort zone and experience other cultures, because it opens your eyes up to so much, and you don't have to rely on what other people are telling you so that you can make a determination about another place you've never been. No, go there, experience it, and make your own determination for yourself. That goes with anything, right? So
100%.
definitely something I learned and I loved. Man, my scariest moment was I got food poisoning on day 2 of the broader trip, and it was my bachelor party. I'm gonna stick it out on the boat day. I woke up that morning. I was like, I am not feeling good, but you know what? It's my bachelor party. I gotta go. I can't be sitting in my bed. I'm pushing. We went on that boat, Sam, and the boat was a full day event. And it was a full day event of misery for me. And I said to my mom, it only made sense on my own bachelor party. It's supposed to be one of the best weeks of my life, that I had to exercise some of the most mental fortitude that I've ever exercised, because I was in the most physical pain maybe ever. Sitting at the bottom of that boat with my face around that toilet, just hoping to get through it, and I didn't enjoy a second of that boat experience, while all of my best friends are having the time of their life, yelling, screaming, singing in beautiful sunlight in Colombia. Meanwhile, I'm at the basement of this damn boat, puking my brains out, just hoping to get off that thing. But a little mental fortitude, man, on my bachelor party just made sense. And I think the one takeaway I had from that moment, Sam, even when things are at their best of their best, you can't take it for granted, because something like that can change in a second, and you can get hit hard. And this is a lesson that I continuously learn, and we continuously talk about on Elevation Nation. So I look back on it now and laugh, but during that moment, I was not laughing, and you know that.
I want to just emphasize for people how literally insane this was. Parker was really sick, and no, he was not hungover. He actually had a stomach bug. Like, almost all of us got it. I got it yesterday. So all of us got a stomach bug at one point. Parker is curled in the bathroom and bedroom downstairs on this beautiful, like, 70-foot yacht, And we're not just like taking a little cruise around the marina or the harbor. We were zipping all the way over an hour to the Rosario Islands and back. And
through like an
it is
ocean,
bumping,
with
like
waves
through the ocean, through
and
some serious swell, going fast, trying to cut through them. We are sitting in the back of the boat, flying up and down. Water is hitting us in the face. We are so loving it, flying around, having the time of our lives. Poor Parker is freaking out in the bottom of the boat. It is rocky. There's water hitting the windows. But the kid pushed through, showed some mental fortitude on his own bachelor party.
Lurie, who also was feeling it during that boat ride, that was something I never want to have to feel and do again. And you know what? I got through it. And the next day, what did I do, Sam? I got on the boat and we went scuba diving. Let's talk about that for a sec. Scuba diving, incredible experience. I had never thought in a million years I would go scuba diving, but I never thought actually Sam would want to do it with me. And unfortunately, when we got out to the water was murky. It was a windy day. There was a lot of waves. But Sam and I are like, we got to go under. We got to experience this. So we pushed the guide to continue to find a space for us to go. And Sam, I'll never forget the moment. You know, we're 25 feet under the water, and it's just you and me and this guide, and then Luke Schatzberg. And we're looking at each other. We're fist pumping. 20 minutes plus under the water, and we're like, holy crap, this is so cool, even though we could not see anything else besides each other. But I think it was a really cool experience because I know how much you pushed yourself in that moment. I know how much Luke pushed himself in that moment. And then getting to the top and having that thrill of like, holy crap, we just did that was amazing. And I think that is what mental fortitude, man, is all about. It's about really pushing outside your comfort zone, not knowing what it's going to be like. You know, there's a lot of fear, anxiety, but then boom, you get to the end. And I know that joy, that smile that we felt right after we got to the top of the water. We were like, wow, makes it totally worth it. And now we want to go again.
We did scuba diving in the hardest way possible. When Parker says it's murky, like, you could not see. Parker was less than 2 feet in front of me. I could not see him. It was so scary. It was so petrifying. They put a rope down for us because we couldn't figure out which way was up or down. And Parker and I were like, okay, this isn't great, but we have to do it. We need to prove to ourselves that we can do it. It is so much harder to scuba dive when you have no idea where you are. You can't see anything. The guide left to go get Luke from the top to bring him down to Parker and me. Parker was like trying to explore a little bit. I was freaking out because then I lost Parker. I lost the guide. I was just holding onto the rope for dear life, trying to find Parker. He was literally 7 inches in front of me, and I couldn't see him. Luke came down. We all fist bumped, and I was ready to get up. I was like, all right, I'm good. I'm freaking out now. So talk about claustrophobia. You can't see anything. You're barely breathing, but we did it. We overcame it. We showed mental fortitude. I can't wait till we can do it when we see. It was a special trip. Truly, Parker, the bachelor party of a lifetime, the trip of a lifetime. I can't wait to go back to Colombia. It's probably one of the favorite countries I've ever visited, and I'm so glad and honored we got to share it together.
Yeah, it was an incredible place. It's just the start of being able to travel in South America. I mean, there's so many other places too that are beautiful, and certainly want to be able to go back to Colombia. Man, I know that this Fortitude in 15 was us just recapping and going off of our own personal experiences, which we're trying to go a little bit away from a little bit more. We want to be able to find out, do some research on some other stuff. But we did our research this week, and we did our research on traveling, experiencing, and exercising mental fortitude, even in those moments where you're kind of in your comfort zone. And there's always ways to exercise and push yourself beyond your comfort zone, even on times when you're on vacation, even when you're in times where you're feeling complete joy. You know why, Sam? Because you and I both know that elevation brings more joy and more excitement, because there's nothing better than overcoming a fear or overcoming that comfort zone and doing something outside the comfort zone that ends up being okay, because it always ends up being just okay.
Elevation
That's 15
Nation.
minutes right there, Sammy.
Until next week, adios for now. Peace.
Peace.